So, ho ho ho, my name's Rob and this is Cattle Rabbit Scale Model Studios, and in this preemptive cheeky Christmas video we're going to be taking a look at the Red Gobbo Abominable Snowman, kindly sent to me by Games Workshop. Now I thought this was a really interesting miniature purely because it hasn't got any rules. It is purely a project piece or a collector's piece. If it's a collector's piece then chances are you're probably not even going to open this, but if it's a painting piece, there's a lot to unpack here and a lot to talk about, because I had to really approach this in a very different way to how I would normally do videos and unboxings and things like that. So I thought we'd just dive in and I'd ramble and talk about what I like about this and, you know, any gripes I may have. Now straight away, the packaging is really lovely. It's got a nice Christmas feel. I'm a big sucker for colourful lights. You know, I'm not a plain white type person. In my house it's gold, red and, you know, greens and, you know, very traditional. I like this packaging. It shows the miniature clearly and it's got a, you know, nice presentation with the commemorative series written across the top. I do feel though, as a collector's piece, maybe some bespoke artwork would have been nice. I'll talk about that more in a bit. Flipping it over, you see we've got, you know, nice kind of displayed in little bauble-esque, you know, parts of the miniature. There are no painting guides. There's no suggested colour schemes or anything like that you see on a lot of the back of the boxes of Games Workshop packaging, and it just feels a little bit empty on the back there. Not that that's a bad thing, because sometimes it does look a lot cleaner. Now if we just open him up, you can see that there's not much to this at all. Again, being part of a commemorative series, it would have been nice if maybe there was an artwork postcard in there or something just to kind of elevate it, you know, but, you know, small minor gripes and well wishes from me here. As you can see, the sprue, we've got a lovely big sculpted base, and then you've kind of got your snowman, your Red Gobbo, and then your little guy down here, his little helper, just kind of, you know, in a few bits. I do find that because of how small the Red Gobbo actually is, I'm surprised at how many bits he actually comes in. It does seem a little bit unnecessary because he is so small. However, on the flip side of things, it allows for greater sub-assemblies, which obviously if you are treating this as a painting project, which really, again, it's either one or the other, is probably a very good thing. And I'll talk about sub-assemblies later as I do actually build him and show him off at the end of the video, so stick around for that. If we do just have a quick look in the corner here, you can see there's actually 6 revision stamps. So he was fairly problematic in the production process, probably because he is very small and he's made up of lots of little bits. So just something I like to point out. As we move over to the instructions, again, really nicely presented. I wish there was kind of just no writing on that front bit. Again, it would have doubled up as like a little art card or something. I know I keep banging on about that, but I do just think it's a little opportunity to make these miniatures just stand out really nicely. As for going together, he's kind of got these bits of his coat that glue on, like his collars, which if you're unsure about things like seam lines could be quite problematic. Definitely look into gap filling with those, as there's a few down the coat. The snowman just kind of glues together in 2 halves, and his little buddy just kind of again glues together with his head on, and then they all just kind of put together. Really, you've got 4 separate parts to this model. You've got the base, you've got the snowman, his little helper, and then you have the Red Gobbo himself. So there's a lot to actually sink your teeth into here. At first I was kind of like, there's not much to this, but it turns out there's a fair old bit. What I am going to do here is I'm just, you know, a speed time-lapsing through it in the background while I talk about it. Now, I always ask the question, if Games Workshop hadn't sent me this, would I have purchased it for myself? And I think initially I probably maybe not have, but now that I've got my hands on it, I think I definitely would. I've got this out actually on my desk at the moment, and I got to admit I had a lot of fun building it. I had a lot of fun kind of planning the colours, which I have started to work on, although it wasn't ready for this video. There's just a lot to it. It's a really good project because it's like 4 things in one, and I must say I was quite impressed. The detail's always great with Games Workshop miniatures. I do a lot of them on the channel, as you know. This is what I'm left with, and this is what I'm going to be doing sub-assembly wise. Obviously the Red Gobbo, his little helper, the head separate. I'll keep the head separate as it just makes life a little bit easier getting to those details on his chest. One thing I will say, and I do just want to point this out, my only minor gripe with this figure, and obviously now I'm starting to look at the composition as a painting piece, everything's kind of bunched up into 2/3 of the base, and there's a massive kind of section at the front that, and you'll be able to see it in just a second when I kind of place the gobbo, with nothing on. And it seems like the base is maybe one size too big, in my personal opinion. I felt that it kind of, just here, look, you've got all this kind of wasted space, and it's quite tricky because of the way the gobbo's facing himself. If you turn him round, it portrays a lot better, but it photographs a lot worse. So that's just something to kind of be aware of there. The snowman's head, you actually don't glue on, you can leave it off. I'd probably be more inclined to attach the snowman's head next to the red gobbo himself to kind of fill that space. But, you know, it's subjective, so, you know, don't be like, oh, you said this. People don't seem to know what subjective is sometimes, and the comments I get is absolutely astounding. So don't take too much offence to it. If you like this miniature, do you know what? Really, really enjoy it. I am going to keep his gun separate. The red gobbo himself, I've kept his head separate and his gun, and I'll paint him separately. But we'll pop him on the little spinning thing now, and we'll just kind of finish off with, you know, some final thoughts on the miniature. So here you can see he is just blue tacked together here, so it might seem a little bit out. You'll see what I mean about the composition of the miniature as he slowly moves around, but I like it. It's got a lot of charm. See that gap there? There's a lot of mischievous kind of attitude to it. The red gobbo, I know, beloved by fans. He's had some great model over the years. I wish I would have picked up the one, I think it was last year, of him dropping the bomb through the chimney. I never got round to grabbing it and I missed out on it, so I'm really chuffed that I actually got this one. Chuffed for my American viewers, that means really pleased. So that's the red gobbo. There is a little bit of filling to do on him, and I will be painting him up over on my channel. I'll probably do it some lives, maybe as we move into the festive period. But there we go, the red gobbo. I like it. I'm not sure on the price just yet. I probably think this is going to be around about £25. Again, price is subjective. If you think it's worth it, it's worth it. If you don't, for a single miniature, you know, maybe not. But I think if you're using it as a painting piece, you're probably going to get a fair amount of time with this. And in my opinion, 25, especially if you got it from a third-party retailer, you'll get a bit of discount. I don't think this is exclusive to Games Workshop. I'm not sure. You'll probably get it for a slightly bit of, you know, better price. Let me know if it is exclusive. I'm not too sure about that now. But yeah, the red gobbo, I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's a great way of doing something festive with Warhammer, you know, and get you into the Christmas mood, which obviously I'll be doing. But look, that is it from me in this one. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you have. It really helps me out. And I'll see you all next time. God bless and take care. Also, Merry Christmas.